Hello everybody, good morning. Hi guys. We've got a little bit of a dodgy, weird lag going on, but I'm hoping that it's just gonna play its way out. Yeah, just checking all this as they should be. We did a little test run this morning and it seemed okay, but now we've got a bit of a lag again. Good morning everybody, welcome. Yeah, the weather's changed. It's really raining now outside. So I don't know what it's like where you guys are. Good morning to the Harrisons. Fantastic. We've got Milo and we have got Rory in the house. Awesome. So today we are going to be making wish tickets, which is actually all like a wishing jar really. So these are the materials that you guys are going to need for today. You're going to need to grab a jar, some string. So when I say a jar, like maybe you might have an old jam jar, an old condiments jar, anything like that really that's got like a lid on it, that's been cleaned out. And perhaps if you don't have a jar, perhaps a box would be fine. Any old kind of box that you might have. Perhaps it is an old packaging box, perhaps it is an old shoe box, or like definitely nothing bigger than a shoe box, but anything that you may have. Perhaps you have a toy box that you could utilize for this activity. You're not going to be harming the box or the jar, so it could be something that you really like using. So a container of some sort, and you're going to be needing to grab some string or some ribbon, some paper or card, some scissors, and some tape and some pens today, please. So those are the things that you are going to be needing. I'm going to put those on the chair next to No Worries and move us a little bit closer to the screen. You can carry on seeing that materials list and start grabbing those from around the house. Pop that a little bit in. So we've got No Worries on the chair here next to me. He's actually we're both wearing rainbows today. I'm wearing this rainbow that my friend made for me quite a while ago. I've absolutely loved rainbows since I was a kid. I used to have rainbow stickers on all of my books, and I used to have rainbow wallpaper in my room, so I absolutely love rainbows. So I'm wearing my rainbow because, you know, it's Thursday as well, so it's a good day to clap and say thank you to everyone. Hello, Leela and Josie. Lovely to see you guys. You're all pumped for today. And also No Worries is wearing a little rainbow, and I need to do a shout out to my mum because she actually crocheted this little rainbow badge so we can be matching with our rainbows. So No Worries got his rainbow on. I'm sure you guys are loving rainbows as well. It's such a great theme. So for those of you just joining, the materials list is next to me for today's workshop, which is called Wish Tickets. You need to have a jar, or it could be a box. So that could be a toy box. It could be an empty condiments jar, like a mayonnaise jar or something, with a lid. It could be just a cardboard box, any kind of container. And as always, we'll craft along. And if it gets to the end of the workshop and and you think, oh, this isn't the perfect box, I'm going to switch my container, then do that later. Just get any kind of box to craft along with for now, or jar. That would be awesome. Some string or some ribbon, some paper or some card, some scissors, any kind of tape, and some pens. Let me know if you can't hear me okay. I can see that there's a little lag on the visuals. But if you can't hear me, let me know and we'll do something about that. But if you can hear me fine, then we'll continue, because I think what's happening with YouTube at the moment when we do morning workshops is it starts a little bit laggy, and then within 5 minutes it kind of settles down into its own rhythm. But if you can't hear me, please let me know. It doesn't matter if the visuals lag a bit, as long as you can see. and as long as you can hear the instructions. But just let me know if it's really bad, because we'll change the connection and we'll figure something out. But hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Super. So wish tickets today are what we're going to be doing. And before I just introduce that activity, I just want to let you guys know about a really special date for your diaries, because we've got a very special Make with Meg episode, and it's going to be on Saturday, the 9th of May. And it's with a company called Meadow Arts. It's going to be at 2 p.m. on the Make with Meg website. It's not this Saturday coming up, but the Saturday afterwards. And we're going to be making these kind of profile pictures. And it's a workshop that's called Objectify Yourself. And it's another craft along. So it's about an hour long. And it's kind of designed actually for older children. So if you've got brothers and sisters that are older than you, do it with them. It's still a family activity. You're still more than welcome to come along to it. It might be a little bit more cutting out. So we kind of say like age 10 up is ideal. But you're more than welcome to join along. Leela and Josie and Milo and Rory and Felix and Ione, please do come along to that, and please do tell any cousins or brothers or sisters that you have that might be older, because it might be a little bit better suited to them, but I think you'll still really enjoy it. We're going to be making some portraits that look a bit like this, and I'll be releasing the materials list for that on Monday. So that's a special date for your diaries. It's Saturday the 9th of May at 2 p.m. with an amazing arts organisation called Meadow Arts. And we're looking at the artwork of a famous artist called Oliver Jones, who has his work on display in a National Trust property at the moment called Barrington Hall. So that's quite an exciting date for your diaries. So these are the materials we're going to grab for the wish tickets today. Those people just joining us, you need a jar or a box. We need to grab some string, some paper or card, some scissors, some tape, and some pens. So those are what the things you're going to be grabbing. And as always, let's just have a little look back to last week. Last week we were making invitations to invite ourselves to something really special. And that workshop leads into this workshop really nicely. So from you amazing regulars, we have got a picture here of Josie and Leela. And this picture is you guys in your garden. What a difference a week has made, eh? Last week, I absolutely love, by the way, these dungarees. I would love to get a pair of these. I've got a lovely cat little picture on here. Josie and Leela made so many invitations to invite themselves to exciting events after lockdown that they actually had to make a post box to hold them all in, or they designed one. Like, they might not have made it yet, but they had this idea to make a post box, which is absolutely awesome. And I love this use of different colours and designs on your invitations. They are gorgeous. Well done, guys. And from the Harrisons, also up north, this time in Derbyshire, we have got lovely Milo here, who I used to look after quite a lot when you were a little baby, Milo. And here he is with his amazing invitation, inviting himself to a sleepover. And here are some pictures of him and his friends having a sleepover, which is pretty awesome. Well done to you, Milo. That is great. And here we have got gorgeous sister to Milo, Rory, who looks exactly like her nan, her aunt Nan. And she is so cool. She has made an invitation to Granny and Papa's house and drawn a really, really cool picture of Granny and Papa there as well. I think they're going to be really excited to see her after lockdown as well. So they are amazing. Well done, guys. Do keep sharing your pictures with me after the craft along. I just love to see what you guys are making. As you can see, I had a bit of a bad hair day this morning, but this is what I like to call my summer hair, but today it's just not very summery. So I've got rained on and I'm just trying to wear it in this poofy way. We'll see how we get on. Today we are making wish tickets and we are all ready to go, I think. I think we've got the same number as last time I gave the materials list out. So a jar or a box, some string, paper or card, scissors, tape, and pens. So we're going to fly you over now to the making station. And I just wanted to really remind you before we go over there about the invitations that we were making last week. So we were inviting ourselves last week to special events, things that seem more special during this lockdown period because we can't do them, and things that we maybe took a little bit for granted beforehand, like playing in the park on your favourite swing, or going on an Easter egg hunt because it's just been Easter and we couldn't go out for massive Easter egg hunts with big groups of people or anything like that. Going to a cafe and sitting down for a coffee, going to see your grandparents, all of these things that now feel really special. So we're making these lovely special invites to invite ourselves to these things after lockdown. And at the very start of last week's workshop, I just want to take you back to when we were making like a little spider graph. I think actually was it Josie that actually is in that picture. I think yours is on there. A spider graph of all of the different things that you could think of that you want to invite yourself, that you miss doing after lockdown. And we're going to be using that as our kind of starting point for today. So if you didn't make one of those last week and you haven't got any ideas of things you'd like to invite yourself to, it would also be a great idea for you to just grab a scrap of paper as well and a pen, and we'll all just start with that bit together. So I'm going to take you over to the making station. The first thing you're going to need is some scrap paper and a pen. This won't be the finished piece. This is just for you guys to do some mapping out. And I'll show you and remind you how to do a little spidergram of the things that we are going to be putting into our wishing jars or our wish tickets. I might change the name of this workshop to wishing jars, because actually I love how it could be. Do you know that song that's going, when you wish upon a star? I think it could be when you wish upon a jar. I mean, that's a great little thing. So maybe I'll call it when you wish upon a jar, this workshop, instead of wish tickets. Maybe it's a bit funnier. Who knows? I'm whittering on. Let's go over to the making station and let's get started. So, take no worries. Pop that chair over there. Fly you guys. Now we do seem to be a bit laggy, but hopefully we are going to pick up a bit now. Plug the power lead in. Fantastic. Okay. Super. So I've got no worries down here. I'm going to pop on my glasses to get making. And this is a little bit what our wishing jar is going to look like when it's finished. It's going to be a jar like this with a label on it, and it's going to be filled with tickets. So I'm going to put that to one side for now. And I'm just going to remind you, this is my invitation from last week that I've got ready for me to open after lockdown. And what I decided that I would do is that I would invite myself to an Easter egg hunt after lockdown. Because I didn't get to go on one with my friends this year, and I know I'm a grown up, sort of, but I love going on Easter egg hunts, and we do one with a big group of friends at a place called Ashton Court in Bristol, and we absolutely love it. There's a miniature train ride there, and all the adults get on the miniature train and go around, and we have loads of fun. So I'm inviting myself and my friends to an Easter egg hunt after lockdown. So that was my invite that I made. But before we made the invites, we made a spider graph. So if you haven't already, get yourself a piece of scrap paper. And what you're going to be doing is you're going to be making a spider graph that looks a little bit like this. So I drew a picture of a spider, and I was just kind of like thinking about all the things that I wish that I could do during lockdown. The things I'd be like, oh gosh, I really wish I could just do that. And I've been putting them on here. So I'll show you guys how to make one of these. I'll grab my own bit of scrap paper and we can quickly make one together. If you've got yours from last week, you could just grab that out. But don't worry if not. So here is my scrap paper. I've got old printing on it that I don't need, so I'm going to pop that down like this. You may have any scrap of paper. And to make a spider graph, I like to draw a big circle in the middle, like my spider's body. Okay, so you're drawing a big circle in the middle like your spider's body. And then you can draw some legs. So I like to draw 8 legs. 1, 2, 3, 4 on one side like this, and then 4 on the other like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. I like to make an actual spider when I'm doing a spider graph, and I like to do 2 big eyes at the top like this. That looks really like a spider. And if you want it to have a little feminine approach, you could even put some eyelashes on your eyes. I love eyelashes on eyes. I just think they look great. I could do a little smiley face. And in the middle or at the top, you could write the word wish. So W, W, I, I, S, S, H, H. Wish. These are the things that you wish that you could do during lockdown that you can't. So you may have some ideas from last week that you could use to fill up your spider graph. And if not, have a little think now and go for it. So I, like I said before, really miss going on a egg hunt for Easter. So I'm going to write that down really quickly. I really wished I could go dancing with my friends. I really wished I could go swimming in all this hot weather, especially, and I love swimming in the sea. So I've got egg hunt, I've got dancing, I've got swimming in the sea. I wish I could go to a coffee shop. I wish that I could go for fish and chips. That's a really big one. Oh my gosh. Do you know that during the Second World War, when everyone was on rations, the one thing that was not rationed in any way was fish and chips? The government said, fish and chip shops, you need to stay open. The British people, they love fish and chips. They've got to have them, keep them open. That's just a little fact that I learnt this week. But during lockdown, loads of fish and chip shops are closed, and it's my favourite food. We had our local fish and chip shop deliver us fish and chips for our meal at our wedding. It was absolutely scrumptious. So I really miss fish and chips. I absolutely love them. Proper fish and chips. I missed going. Did you miss going to any events, any birthday parties, anything like that got cancelled because of lockdown? I miss going to Tina Turner, the musical. So I'm going to write Tina Turner on here. I also really miss going on long walks and long drives. I really miss my mum and dad, and I really miss my family. So like my brother and my nephew, Bowen. So these are the things that I wish that I could see or that I could do during lockdown. So I filled up now with lots and lots of different things. You guys almost finished your spider graphs. Remember, these aren't your finished craft long activities for today. So these are just rough. You don't need to keep these nice and neat and pristine. These can just be however they come out. And I'm just doing a little wobble, and I think YouTube has got a little bit back in sync now, which is awesome. So hopefully you can all hear and see me okay. Just do type a message or write in the box in the chat to let me know if you're lagging behind and you need time to catch up, or let me know if you can't hear me properly. I hope you guys are okay and you've finished your spidergrams. So like a diagram, but this is a spidergram. So we've got 8 things at least on your spidergram of things that you wish that you could do. And we're using last week's exercise with invites to kind of help us with this starting point. So this is my really neat one that I did, but so I've got lots of different things on mine. All the things that we wish that we could do. So now what we're going to be doing is the first thing you're going to do is we are going to be making a label for our jar like this. So I actually had an old luggage label. Oh, that's upside down. I actually had an old luggage label that I was able to utilize for this. It came on actually was one of those labels. Has anyone had a birthday recently? And you have those birthday party bags, and sometimes they have little labels on that you can fill in. I actually just used one of those. It came in a birthday, like a gift wrap bag. However, you can make your own labels. I'm going to show you some different ways of making a label that will go around our jar or our box. So here's how we're going to be doing that. For this, if you have any kind of scrap card, that would be ideal. But if not, you could just use paper. That would be awesome too. So when I say scrap card, it could be cereal box card. It could be absolutely anything that you've got, and you're just going to be using the blank white side to decorate on. So it doesn't really matter if it is, you know, cereal box card that's decorated on. I've got some of this neon card that was used for an old project. You see it says name at the top. I don't need that, but I'm going to utilize this old bit of card. Instead of throwing it away because it's got one stamp on, I can just use different sections of it. That's what we do during lockdown. We're utilizing what we have got. So I am going now to cut a shape out for me to use as my label. Now, what I quite like doing with this is I quite like just do you remember how I quite like just finding objects and drawing around them instead of trying to measuring and drawing completely new shapes? I always find it so much easier to find an object. So I'm wondering if you have a little look around your spaces that you're in right now. No, Josie and Leela, you're probably in your lovely little making space, your playroom. I know that the Harrisons will be in your you've actually got your own little like space as well, haven't you? So have a little look around your space and find an object that fits on your card that you would think is a nice shape that you're going to draw around, that you're going to use as your label for your wishing jar. So not a really big object. I'd say an object that is no larger than the palm of your hand. So this bit of your hand here. So have a little look around your space for an object that you would like to draw around as your label for your jar. You know what, actually? I think this time I'm going to go for the sellotape. That's about the same size upon my hand. It's not a square label, but I quite like the idea that I'm going to have a round label shape on mine. And how unusual, but cool would that be? So I'm going to draw around the sellotape roll here, actually. So I'm going to take my sellotape roll. I'm going to pop it here. I'm going to grab a pencil. You would use a pencil for this if you've got one. I'm going to use a pen just so that you can see my lines, but you use a pencil. And I'm going to draw around my shape on my card. Paper, if you haven't got card, that's fine. Perhaps you have an old cereal box though, that would be awesome. You're going to draw around your shape. I'm going to pop it up here. And now you're going to cut out your shape. And this is going to be... fantastic. I'm wondering what shapes you guys have found around your houses to draw around. I know quite in my first craft along during lockdown, I was drawing around my store cards from my wallet. That's quite a good thing to draw around. You could even have an old train ticket that you could draw around. Absolutely anything. I've gone for a round one just off the cuff there. I wasn't planning to do that, but I just thought actually that would be pretty awesome for my label for my jar. So now I've got my label for my jar like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to... I'm trying to think if I'm going to make a little ticket to go on the outside here. So can you see on this one here, this is a very traditional shape of a ticket. And these are what tickets used to look like when you went on buses, when you went on trams, or when you went to the cinema. They would come off of a roll in this, you see the yellow outline here. This is the kind of traditional ticket shape. And I quite like using traditional things. If you're making tickets, making an old traditional shape, I think it's quite nice. It's quite stereotypical, and it kind of is quite fun. So I quite like using traditional shapes. So I think I'm going to take another bit of card, this time yellow card. You might use a bit of paper for this. Paper would be absolutely perfect for you to draw your ticket shape. Now what I'm going to do my ticket shape is I'm going to use a ruler. If you haven't got a ruler to hand, perhaps think of another kind of object that would give you a straight edge that you could use. If you have got a ruler, that would be absolutely ideal. I'm going to grab mine here. I've got a Wizen ruler here, which I'm going to use. And again, just improvise this. You don't have to do this ticket bit if you don't want to. I just find it's quite fun. what I'm going to do with this is I am going to put it on my card. I'll draw the line and then I'll hold up the camera to show you. So this is the edge of my card here. I'm going to use this pen. You would use a pencil. And I'm going to draw this line here. So I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to hold this up to the camera. So I just took my ruler and I put it down one side of my card. And I just drew, I got it flush, which means I got it really lined up to the end of the card like that. Really perfectly lined up. And then when it was flat, I just took my pencil, well, my pen, you'd use a pencil, and I drew a line down here. So now I've got a perfect ruler-shaped line on the edge of my card. And I'm just going to cut that line out now. And you can see I've got this perfectly ruler-widthed piece here. Perhaps you have another object if you don't have a ruler to hand. I'm trying to think. Store cards would be really good for that. Something out of your mum and dad's wallet. You could get a really good little line for that. Or any other kind of straight edge that you may have lying around, like a book. You could utilise the end of a book and draw it out along that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn this into a ticket that will fit the size. Will fit onto my underneath piece of card here. So I'm just going to be really brash. I'm just going to kind of see whereabouts I want my edge cutting off. And I'm just going to cut it like that. So I've just been really risky and I've cut it. And so now it kind of almost fits within here. And now what you're going to do to make your actual ticket shape is you are going to find something that is round and about this big. So something that is round and fits within here. So that could be a coin. If you've got a coin anywhere, that could be a Pritt stick. That would be a brilliant one, actually. I'm going to get a Pritt stick because they have a round lid that would fit round here. Do you have any toy coins? Do you have a toy till that has some toy coins in that would be perfect to draw around? Do you have a button, a spare button or something round that fits within the width of here? Because if you can see this one here, what you're going to be doing is we're going to be drawing around it a little bit to cut out to get this nice shape on either side. So you're going to be finding a round object now around your house. Oh, do you know what I've actually found? I'm going to be utilising. I think this will work. Oh, yes. I have found a googly eye. That's what I'm going to be drawing around for mine. I'm going to be drawing around this googly eye, but perhaps you have found something else. So I'm going to pop my bit of card, the nice coloured side down, my ticket. I'm going to put it, what I'll do is I'll show you at the camera. I'm going to line up my googly eye. You might have a coin, you might have a Pritt stick lid. I'm going to put it inside this bit here, but only half the way. So if I turn this over, can you see? I've lapped it over half the way. So I'm not drawing around the whole circle. I'm going to be drawing around half of the googly eye. So I'm going to lay that down here, and you would use your pencil. I'm going to use a pen so you can see my line, and I am going to draw now around half of my googly eye. So I'll hold it up to the camera so you can see. So I had my ticket and I've put my googly eye half the way over, and I've just drawn over half of that now. Okay, and now I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut this shape out. So that is called a semicircle or a half moon. I don't think it's called a crescent, is it? Is it called a crescent? I don't know. Amelia would know if it's called a crescent, I think. And then you could use exactly, so you've cut out this piece, and if you've managed to do a nice clean cut, then you could put this piece inside the other side and draw around that and cut that out again. If you haven't done a clean cut, sometimes cutting around circles is really tricky, and the inside bit is a bit gnawed by the scissors, don't fear. Just use the googly eye on the other side, draw around it on the other side, and cut it out again. By some kind of fluke miracle, I've done a clean cut. So I'm going to draw around here again with, you do your pencil, I'm going to do my pen so you can see the line, and I'm going to cut that out on the other side. Fantastic. Well done, guys. So I've got my lovely ticket shape now. So it looks like a traditional ticket. So all I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be gluing my traditional looking ticket onto my shape that I cut out here. Okay, I'm going to glue this down. So gluing that onto my shape. And then you've got a lovely design here, the traditional looking ticket on top of a great shape. And now you can use a pen and you are going to write your name. So I'm going to write Megan. You would write Josie or Leela or Milo or Rory or Bo. You'll write your name and then you're going to write tickets. So I'm going to write Megan's tickets. So I'll hold mine up to the camera. So I've got Megan's, and then tickets is spelled T-I-C-K-E-T-S. T-I-C-K-E-T-S. Tickets. I'm going to put a little dot on my eye here. Megan's tickets. And if you want to, you could even write the word wish, which is W-I-S-H. Because this is your wishing jar. So wish. Wish, 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 wish. Fantastic. So now what you're going to be doing is you are going to be sticking your amazing, lovely label onto your jar. Now there's different ways in which you could do that. You could literally just get some tape. I'm going to show you with this. I've got some sellotape here, and you could turn it round back on itself, so you create a sticky loop. Do you see? And then you could pop that on the back of your card, and you could just stick that onto your jar or your container. So you've now got a label for your wish tickets. Or you could attach some ribbon or some string using some sellotape or a stapler or a hole punch, and tie your label around the top of your jar like this other one that I have done here. So there's a couple of ways, or you could, if you wanted to, just put some, if you've got nice coloured funky tape, you can even just put some tape so it shows on the side. So I'll just show you how to create a round ribbon again, because I think Josie and Leela might be wanting to know how to do that. So you take a piece of sellotape like this, and you're going to turn it so it goes back on itself. Quite hard to show you, isn't it, because it's very see-through. And then that will be able to stick all the way around. It's sticky all the way. So you're creating a sticky loop, an invisible sticky loop. So you can just stick on your item like that. Okay, so now this is the fun bit where we really have quite a lot of fun making our very own wishing tickets. So this is your jar of tickets that you can cash in after lockdown. So what you're going to be doing for this is You're going to be using any kind of card or paper that you would like to use. I'm just going to carry on using the same like scrap yellow and pink card and paper that I've got. And I'm going to be just cutting some different shapes that will fit inside my wishing jar. So they've got to fit inside my jar. So I know that my pieces of card that I cut need to be big enough so that I can doodle or write on, but they also need to be small enough that they can fit through the hole. You may have a massive jar or a box, so you may not have this problem at all. So size to you could be all sorts of different sizes. So I'm going to just make some different size tickets now, but I'm just going to free cut them out with scissors. If you've got funky edge scissors, you can even use those, whatever you would like to cut your shapes out with. So I am just going to be brave, and I am just going to make some tickets that are sort of just, I think I'm just going to go for like a classic oblong kind of shapes now that will go inside. I'm just going to check that they fit. So I'm going to pop them in as I cut them to check that they fit. And if you have any that don't fit, so this one probably won't, let's see. If you have any, oh, that one does just about fit, but if you need to, you just trim them as you go. So I'll just trim that down a little bit. And you're just going to be cutting some pieces and some different shapes of card that would fit inside your wishing jar. Now, you've got to be able to get them out again to do the writing on. So once you've got a kind of shape that you think that fits in pretty well, start keeping your stash out and measure them against each other. So, for example, the next one that I'm going to cut out, I'm going to just check that it isn't larger than one of the ones I've put down here. It isn't, so it's fine to go in the pile. So you're just cutting out some, and you need as many tickets as you have got pointers on your spidergram. So I've got 8, so I need 8 tickets. So I'm going to stop when I get to 8. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need 6, 7, 8. There we go. So I've got 8 tickets now. And these are going to be things that I'm going to be cashing in. So now I think you probably know what's coming next, actually. You've probably got a fair idea. So now you're just going to be grabbing your pens, your drawing tools, any of your favourite craft things out. And you're just going to be filling up your tickets with doodles or words that describe the things that you would like to do after lockdown, the things that you're really missing. So you can just copy those off your spidergram that you just made earlier or last week. So I'm going to put mine out here for reference. So what are the kind of things I'm going to be putting on mine? So I would like to put on mine, so I have got dancing. I'd like to go out dancing, so I might actually do like a little musical note. And I might write the word dancing. Okay, so I've got my first one done, and I'm going to pop that in. That's the next one I'm going to do. Oh, swimming in the sea. So I might draw some waves for this one. I might draw a sunshine because, you know, oh. Sea, swim, sea swim goes in there. I've got, and I can tick them off as I go. So I've got done dancing, and I've done swimming in the sea. I really miss, this is just one for me really. I'm sure that you don't miss it as much as I do, but I really miss going to the pub. So I'm just going to put the pub on there, and I might even draw a nice beer because that is my favourite pub drink. And I've got the pub. I've got, oh, coffee shop. I love having a coffee and cake in a coffee shop. So I'm going to draw a picture of coffee and cake. You can have it at home, obviously, but it's just something nice about sitting in a coffee shop with your friend. I miss my family, so I could draw some pictures of people holding hands. So any kind of doodles or words. Family. Put those in. Oh, I miss. Oh yeah. Tina Turner. Because I missed going to the musical, didn't I? Oh. What's love got to do with it? Everything. That's what love's got to do with it. Oh, fish and chips. Really missing fish and chips. Whacking it in. And, oh, an Easter egg hunt. Which I actually made myself a proper invitation for it last week. An Easter egg hunt. So now my jar is filled. Don't worry, you may still be carrying on with yours. That's absolutely fine and dandy. But I'm going to put my lid on now. And so now I have got my tickets that I am going to be cashing in after lockdown in my lovely jar that I have decorated. Yours might be in a box, it might be in something else, might be in a temporary item that you might be pimping up later, decorating in a different way later. So my jar, of wish tickets is filled. So when you wish upon a jar, it says Megan's tickets on the outside, and I've got wish there, so it could be Megan's wish tickets. It's ready to go. Now what I have around my house, and I just wondered what kind of thing you guys could utilize that you could keep either inside your jar or next to it, because what I really like about the old-fashioned tickets that you used to get on trains or on trams when I was little was that the ticket conductor would have an actual little like a little hole punch called a ticket. I think it was called a ticket gun, and it would just stamp the tickets, and it would stamp a little hole out to say that that ticket has been used on that journey. So I'm wondering what kind of thing you could use to stamp little holes in your tickets when you come to cash them in after lockdown. And you can get that all ready so that when lockdown is lifted, whenever that might be, it might be a long time away, but you'll have something really exciting to look forward to, and it'll all be together and ready to go. So I actually have in my craft kit this lovely little heart-shaped hole punch like this, which I think I got from Hobbycraft a few years ago, and I'll show you it hole punches. Oh, might actually break my phone accident on now. I should do it over here. I've got to do it on a really, there we go, really hard surface. So it hole punches. Oh, can you see? It hole punches little heart punches out. So when I cash my tickets in, when lockdown is lifted, I'm going to open my jar and be like, okay, I'm going to treat myself to something nice. Have a little look through, see which one you're going to treat yourself to. Is today going to be the day you take yourself on an Easter egg hunt? And after you've been on that Easter egg hunt, you can take out your little ticket and give yourself a little used stamp. And then you'll know that if you're going to put that ticket back in that jar, that thing has already been cashed in on. You've already loved that experience and had that experience. Now, I do quite like the idea of the love heart because it reminds us that these are events that seem very ordinary before lockdown, such as going on an Easter egg hunt or nipping into a cafe, perhaps going to the library. But these are actually things that we love and that make us feel happy. So if you don't have a heart hole punch like this, which I'm sure you don't, because this is something that I've just had, I think I had this since I was 18, like years and years and years. So this is just something I have lying around. You may have a stamp that you'd like to use in your own ink pad that you could keep next to your jar ready to go that represents something that you love. Or it might be that after this craft session is finished shortly, you might want to make your very own miniature hearts out of paper, perhaps coloured paper. And you might want to keep those in your jar So that when you have been to one of your events and you've maybe gone on your Easter egg hunt or you've gone to your cafe, you've done the thing with your ticket, perhaps you would then use some glue and use your little paper hearts and just stick those on your tickets to say that they are now used and you loved it. You had a great time. So it's totally up to you guys. You may just have a stamp that that you have. Perhaps you have a letter stamp that has the letter of your name on that you could put with this, or perhaps you have a special pen that you could just put inside your jar with your thing. So you might just draw a heart on your ticket after you've used it, after you checked into your event. So that is it for today's workshop, guys. I'm very aware that as I might be logging off, some of you might still be finishing making your tickets. You might be filling your jars with tickets ready to be used. Ready to be cashed in, and that's absolutely fine. Carry on decorating your tickets as you like. Perhaps find something, whether you've got a stamp, whether you've got a special pen, whether you'd like to make some paper hearts with some glue that you're going to keep next to your tickets, so that when you have used them and you've cashed them in after lockdown, you can say, aha, been to the park. Oh, had a lovely time having my coffee and cake. Oh, really, really enjoyed the pub. Something that you've got to physically and literally mark your tickets with. That could be a stamp, it could be a hole punch, it could be a pen, it could be some paper hearts, but something that recognises that you've been there and you've done that thing and it was lovely and you enjoyed it. So as always, I cannot wait to see your creations from this week. So please do ask your parents to share a picture with me. If you don't want your picture to be seen on screen, just let me know. Don't send it to me, but just send me any pictures that you would like to be shown on screen. So if you send me a picture of just your artwork, I can just show that if you don't want your face to be seen. But I'd love to see what you guys make if you use the hashtag #MakeWithMeg. That will be absolutely awesome. And from me, and no worries, have a fantastic week, guys. I will just grab the materials list for our workshop next week. So if you have any scrap paper left over and a pen, grab those out now and I will tell you the materials you're going to need for next week's workshop. So next week we are going to next week we are going to be making package holidays, so little miniature holidays, because it's been lovely weather up until now and we have been really missing going on our holidays, some of us, and having a nice time. So we're going to make our own miniature holidays. We're going to be making package holidays, and this is actually a workshop that I've been doing with families in Weston-super-Mare, and it's a little project called Holidaying at Home with an amazing company called Theatre Orchard, who've been producing it, and with lots of different families and households in Weston-super-Mare. They've been having a two-part experience, and the first part is called Meg's Package Holidays, where we make your very own package holiday, and I thought we could do a stripped back version of that for Craft Long Hour next week. So what you're going to be needing for Meg's Package Holidays is a box. So the box could be a cereal box, it could be a shipping box, so something you've had delivered, it could be a shoe box, any kind of box, cardboard box you're going to be using for this. Then you're going to need card preferably, or if not, just paper will be fine. But when I say card, perhaps you have another cereal box that you could cut up or something like that. So card or paper. You're needing some pens again. You're needing some scissors, some glue and some tape. So next week we are doing package holidays and the materials are a box, card or paper, pens, scissors, glue and tape. So those are the materials for next week's craft along. And just a quick reminder, this is an amazing date for your diaries. We have got, not this Saturday, but the Saturday afterwards, it's Meadow Arts, amazing company, special live Make with Meg workshop, and it's on Saturday, the 9th of May at 2 p.m. We're going to be making some amazing artworks that look a little bit like this profile picture based on the work of the talented artist Oliver Jones, who has an exhibition called Skin Deep on at a National Trust property called Barrington Hall. So that date for your diaries is Saturday, the 9th of May. It's at 2 p.m. It's a live Make with Meg special. We've got the extra special camera coming out for that one. We've got Bob on tech and answering your online queries. So do tune in for the Meadow Arts special. Not this Saturday, but the Saturday afterwards. But I look forward to seeing you guys next week. I look forward to seeing your pictures of your wishing jars from this week, from your Wish Tickets workshop. And for next week, we're going to be doing package holidays. So do grab a box next week, a cereal box, a shipping box, or a shoe box, some card or some paper, some pens, some scissors, some glue, and some tape. So again, just have a little look around your house and think about the things that you can use. I know that for some people you might not have sellotape, but I feel like there's always electrical tape or something like that that you could utilise, perhaps some masking tape. Any kind of tape will do, perhaps some gaffer tape. Yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys next week. It's been a lovely, lovely workshop. Take care and see you soon. Bye, guys. Bye.